Hello, my name's Jason and welcome to another episode of me painting. We have a 18 by 14 canvas up and I've covered it with some liquid white. If you want to know how to put liquid white on, there's a video link in the description below. And we'll do like a bit of a sunset today. Something warm, we'll see what happens. So using the 2-inch brush, let's pull out a little bit of bright red, and tap on the bristles. And we'll have our horizon. We always want our horizon line to be either a little bit above centre or a little bit below. Just makes it a little better. And we'll go here, we'll pull across. Bright red. And I'll just sort of drag it out a little bit. Okay, and then just knock off some of the excess paint, and we'll come into some cadmium yellow. Just tap the bristles, and then we'll have a bit of yellow above the red. Take that to about there. Okay, now the clean, dry 2-inch brush, it's one I cleaned earlier, we'll go over this, just go all the way across, and it'll blend it out a little bit. See a few little crisscross strokes there, here and there. We don't want to get rid of all the action. Okay. Now I want a really red area where our sun's going to be, so let's get some of this bright red. Now our sun's going to be here, sort of here. Okay. Clean dry brush, I'll just sort of pull that out a little bit, just so we've got a little more colour there. And then in that bit, let's go for some yellow and white, just a bit of finger painting. Just spinning my finger onto the yellow and white, a little blob of paint on my finger. And now where I want my sun to be. Let's just whip that off. That sort of leaves some of the value in, and then if we want to go a bit brighter and get some more paint, and go back up again. And then whip it off again. Let's have a look, and very lightly go over that. Maybe we'll do it a bit bigger. That looks a bit too small. It wants to be sort of like that. That's better. Whip that off. And then go again. Just sort of getting the value and then getting the colour. I'll have something like that. Take that off, and then we'll put some pure white on there now for where the sun is. Just wanted to create a brighter area, sort of a glow. And then kind of very lightly go over that. That sort of gives us a bit of bit of light, and we can kind of use the fan brush just to drag some of these red areas out. Let's put in some clouds. Let's get some yellow ochre yellow ochre, tiny bit of bright red. Let's put in a few clouds just with the fan brush, wherever you want. Just doing straight lines really. Just going straight across. Maybe there's some there. Wherever. Just put in a few. You can get a bit more red in with your colour. And you can even put in a few down here. Okay, now using a cleanish brush, we'll just go over the top of that very lightly, very lightly. And that'll do for our little sky today. And let's start putting in some misty area. Maybe as it comes down, it gets a bit colder, so we'll get some crimson, a little bit of crimson and a touch, really small amount of phthalo blue, just to cool it down here. Okay. And using a clean brush, just go over the top of that. Just allow that to mix with the liquid white and just blend that together so you can't tell where one colour starts and the other finishes. Okay, now then let's use a fan brush and we'll start putting in some distant hills. So let's use some crimson and blue. Alizarin Crimson and Phthalo Blue. Let's get a bit of white as well. Don't want to go too dark. Not yet. A bit more blue. There we go. That sort of cools it down a little bit. A bit more white. There we go. So we've got white, some phthalo blue and some alizarin crimson. Let's start putting in some hills, distant hills. So let's say we've got a hill. We'll just sort of draw him in. He sort of lives there. And then you can just pull the paint out. Just pull the paint out. Okay, maybe there's another one. Maybe there's one. Maybe there's one that lives sort of there. Let's go for, let's move this one out there. And then you just pull in the angles, and then you can bring them one in front of the other, something like that. Maybe there's another one. Maybe I'll get a bit more crimson. Maybe we'll have a hill sort of lives there. Just pull that out. However you like. Wherever you feel there should be a hill, put it in. It's up to you. Maybe there's a bit more, it's getting a bit colder out here. a bit more blue. And you can, I think I'll just tap that. Just tap that away. Okay, maybe that needs pulling down a little. Okay, that gives us an indication of a lot of hills there. Maybe there's a, yeah, let's come right forward now. Let's get some midnight black in with this lavender colour. Get some brown in there. A bit of sap green as well, why not? Let's just mix that up. Let's use a 2-inch brush. Pick up that colour. And let's put in some land. Maybe we've got some land that goes here. So we just put in the dark. Just put in the dark. Okay. Maybe up here some trees, distant ones. So using the 1-inch brush, let's pick up a bit of that same colour. Just using the 1-inch brush, I'm just going to tap. Create sort of an indication of a few trees back there. Don't want it to be too light though. Don't want it to be too dark because it's quite far away, so we'll keep it like that. A bit more of the dark. Okay. Maybe we could just put an indication. Let's get a little bit of paint thinner on the liner. Let's get a bit of this brown. Maybe we can put an indication of a few some more of this brown. A few little tree trunks. I'll do just an indication, and then we can pick up a little bit of this yellowy orange. Just tap in a little bit of a highlight on these trees. Just tap in. Okay, leave it at that. Back to our 2-inch brush, and let's put in like a grassy area there. Let's get some of this yellow, bright red, bit of green. We're just pushing up. Get a little roll of paint like that. Get one of those on your bristles, one of those on your brush there. Okay, let's start tapping. Let's just create the lay of the land. And if you can't, if it's not sticking or you want it a bit lighter, maybe get a little bit of liquid white. It's a thin paint, it'll stick to a thicker paint. Maybe that'll be a bit better. Yeah, a little bit lighter. Just follow the angles of the land. Whichever angles you create will be the lay of the land. Okay. Maybe this side. Maybe there's some land in front of that one. So let's get Get a 2-inch brush. Let's get some of these dark crimson and black and green. Just all dark colours. Let's put in some land. This land goes in front. Just all darks. You just need that dark, as you know. The light to show. You just throw it in. Just throw it in. Okay. Maybe there's a path. Let's get a bit of this brown. A little bit of brown. Maybe there's a path and it sort of goes along here and down and along, and then it sort of gets bigger as it gets closer. And then we can have this path, and it comes, maybe it starts here and comes across. So let's get our fan brush and get some brown. Both of the browns, dark Sienna and VanDyke Brown, just on the fan brush, and maybe the path continues along here. Some more of that brown. Okay, something like that, and then let's get a little bit of the white, and we can highlight that. Okay, now let's put some grassy bits on. Back to our yellows. Yellow ochre, a bit of bright red. Push up. Let's start putting in some grassy areas. All the different colours will just mix on your brush. Bring a few of them over the actual path, just to set it down like this, all the way over, just to send it down. Okay, and then maybe there's a tree there. Let's put in some more of this grassy area. So the more you tap, the softer it gets. And you can add some, we'll get a bit of white. And the sun is hitting a few of these areas. Okay. Now let's use the knife. Let's put in some VanDyke Brown. Let's have a tree. There's a tree. He lives here. Just using the knife. Pure VanDyke Brown. Sort of just block in some of the trunk. You've got a branch. You can just draw in your branches, just using the knife. You make friends with a knife, you can do some fantastic things. And you can put your paint on really thick. Okay, and then let's highlight this tree. Let's use a bit of the bright red. Let's get some of this white. A bit more of that white. Yeah, sort of a pinky colour. Cut across. A little roll of paint. We'll roll the paint, and let's highlight this. Excuse my arm. Highlighting it on this side. Just touching. Letting the paint just pull off. And it just pull off. Let the canvas take what it needs. Okay. And then you can tap as you come round. And maybe there's light and it's when it's hitting that bit. So let's get a bit more of the white. Let's make a lighter bit. Pull across, little roll of paint, and then maybe here the sunlight is hitting. Maybe there. Let's just bounce it off. And then on the other side, it's cooler. So let's get a little bit of blue. Blue and white. Cut across. A roll of paint. Let's put a little bit of blue. The other side. Just a little bit. Okay, now let's use this filbert brush. Let's get some of this bright red, and just push into the paint. Get loads of paint, and we'll start putting on put on a few of these. I'm just using the rounded side of the filbert brush. One. And then let's get a tiny bit of paint thinner into the red to make this paint a little thinner than the brown that's up there. And then light pressure, you can put a few bits in front just to set the bark back a little bit. Okay. And then let's send that down. Let's get a bit of the of our grass, and let's put it in front of our tree, just to send it back. Maybe create another area there. Maybe it needs a little bit here, just as a separator. Okay, now the liner brush. Just get some, maybe a little bit of green. Just spin your bristles through the paint. Maybe I want to put in a few little details, little grassy bits. Putting a few here and there. I'm just going like little angles. There's some tall grass in amongst here. And the wind, a little bit of a breeze is blowing them all to one side. Maybe there's a couple on this side. Okay. Well, maybe this needs a bit more light on the path. Let's get the knife. A little bit more white. A little bit of white on there. And let's just add a little bit of extra light on this path. Just so we can see it a bit better. Okay, And then using the fan brush, let's get a bit more of this yellow. Just push into a little bit of that. Just to drop that path down again. Bit of grass growing over it. Maybe there's a bit of red there and there. Wherever. It's up to you. Okay, well I think we'll call this one finished. It's another little idea for you to create your masterpiece. I'll get some of this brown and red and we'll sign this one. Give it a little J, B, and a little bird for the masters. Okay, thanks very much for watching this one. I hope you give this one a go. It's a good fun one. Cheers. Bye.